Even a man of Kautilya who has written so much about Dharma, his first thing I told you is about concerning discipline. And if you see discipline, it is the life of the king, the discipline, the Raja Rishi, association with the age, restraint of the organs, all these things, even the conduct of the prince, like I said, the conduct of the prince, treatment of a prince, how a prince should be raised, the duties of the king. So all these things were in his books. So his first book was discipline, then the government superintendence, then this law, then the removal of thorns. Removal of thorns, so basically the enemies of the state. That is what he removal of thorns. Then the conduct of the courtiers. Then the source of the sovereign states. Then the sixfold policy. It takes a long time to explain the sixfold policy, but I'll just try to explain it in a short manner. The sixfold policy is basically how you make alliances. How you make alliances based on whether a king is more superior to you or equal to you or less than you, how you treat different levels of kingdoms. So that is the thing, as you can see there. And the elements of sovereignty, that is the end of the sixfold policy. And so that is basically it, the end of the sixfold policy. And how do you go against a strong enemy? What is the cause? This is a very, very important thing. The cause is leading to the dwindling greed and disloyalty of the army, because the army was given the highest priority in Kautilya's administration. The army was first, then came farmers. First is like how Shastri used to say, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. So the first priority was the army. Then came the farmers and tradesmen and cattle rearers and this thing. Now, all these things were the sixfold policy, the very, very detailed thing of how to do. Then vices, like I told you, the vices. Then the work of an invader. Then relating to war, how to fight, how to... If anybody wants to know defense strategy, we send our people to West Point and all these Hijra Americans. Now everybody's become a Hijra, nobody fights. Everybody sends drone, which is sensible. Yes, it is sensible. Why waste a body if we can send a drone and fight? But there are things, these things like what are the forms of treacherous fights?